So, Dianne is our speaker today. She's an amazing practitioner, and she helped with the panels yesterday. I'm very grateful for that. And she's also teaching a class here right now. Awesome teacher. You students are lucky students. And she's a life coach, she's a lawyer, she's a mom. You've seen her beautiful girls. And I love her very much. Please join me in welcoming Dianne.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So there's a lot going on. And the theme of the month and the topic has to do with forgiveness. And so there's a lot going on for me as I process through this. The emotions of what is going on with us as a people, as a race, a human race, how we are dealing with each other. It has been very intense for me. And I have been walking around with my heart wide open, feeling an intense amount of hurt and sadness for us, knowing that we are all in this together on all sides of this experience, that this is about a pain and a festering wound, unaddressed issues that have not been dealt with, that are now bubbling up to the surface in such a very visceral way that it is tearing away at the very fiber of our beingness as we experience the hurt one bullet at a time, as we experience the pain because another mother's son has been shot, or another child's father has been shot, or a group of men have been killed because of the work that they do, or individuals month after month, day after day, taken down, ripped apart, families destroyed. And then our reactions and our responses have been so wide-spectrumed that it sometimes takes my breath away to hear what people have to say out of reaction and not out of response. The emotional reaction from some people, from all people, how intense it has been. And the realization that there's so many of us walking around in anger and rage and confusion and mental sadness and mental instabilities of all levels about this, emotional instabilities about this, and it has been very intense for us. And I work in the legal system, and so I spend a lot of time around cops and judges and courtrooms, and all of that plays a part in what is going on. And it's been very surreal for me this week, walking through the corridors of the courthouse, knowing that there has been, in many corridors of the courthouse, no response, no answer, no justice, no reaction to what has gone. That even though it could be brought all the way to the courthouse, it's not been vindicated, or people don't feel that they have gotten a legal response or an emotional response, or the kinds of supports that ought to be put together. So this thing in Dallas that happened was horrible, horrific. It was terrible, and it has launched a conversation. And so we always want to know, where is God in all of this? How can God be present in all of this? God is always present, always there, always available, and every single instance and experience gives us an opportunity to tap into the God consciousness of who and what we are and do something different. And so now with this very big thing in Dallas, because it's not an individual one thing, because cops get killed too. People get killed all the time. Black men, black women, black children, Latinas, Latinos, people, Native Americans being killed all the time on a 1-1-1 basis. And now we have this culmination of this event in Dallas, which is now launching the nation's attention. It's polarized everybody's attention that something is really wrong. And I absolutely agree. We cannot spiritualize this. We cannot say, oh, it's all good, we're going to pray about it. We have to absolutely treat and move our feet. We have to use our voices. We have to talk about it. We have to have conversations. We have to address it. We have to go to the places where the laws are made. We have to demand change in trainings. We have to demand that people be retrained and rescreened and reassessed for their ability to be in the positions and roles that they're in. We have to teach our people, black people, Native Americans, Latinos, white people, how to be with each other and accept the differences and not see them as something to be feared or not see them as something of no value. We have to start to address the way that we see each other. And it starts with each one of us. It starts with me. It starts with you. We can no longer sit in a luxurious place and say, they do this. Because the moment that we say they, we are creating a separation that makes them different from us, and we can no longer come together and work to heal, to move forward and say, we have a problem. So healing starts when you admit that something is wrong. Healing starts when you get up and recognize and say something is wrong. Where people in power, where ministers say, where people in the schools say, where the doctors say, where the teachers say, where we all start to say something is not working, something is out of alignment. And that is where the healing begins. And each one of us on a very personal level have to start to own what is wrong within. And it's a lot of things. On a personal level, it is about taking ownership for your behavior. It is about being responsible with how you talk to each other. Because what we do is we walk around in life and we bulldoze through each other's lives. Sometimes we do it like a steamroller and we just flatten someone and leave them in our paths. And sometimes we do it in a gentle, passive-aggressive way. We say something nasty and it leaves a little nick in the person's side, and then somebody else says something nasty. And in relationships with each other, we say nasty things and we don't own it. We're just, that's how I am. That's how I am. I'm abrasive. That's how I am. I'm uncouth. That's how I am. I just speak my mind. I'm outspoken. And we say things that cause real harm. And then it starts to build up. And we always talk about it, right? You sweep it under the rug, you sweep it under the rug. All of a sudden there's a mountain in your living room. And you don't know how to get around it. And so you're at an impasse and everybody just sort of acts like it's not there. Well, one day, it's like a powder keg. It's going to explode. So we have to start on a personal level, being mindful of how we are with each other, being mindful, becoming more aware of when I say something, not to just be caustic about it, not to just be, oh, I'm outspoken and so that's how I've always been, and I speak my mind, and you're just outspoken and you're causing harm, you're causing hurt, and you see the hurt in the person's eyes, you see the hurt in their face, but that's just how I am, so, and we all start to walk around with open wounds. There is a feeling in certain communities that they don't matter. There's a feeling in certain communities that their lives will never amount to anything, that they are born just to die. Individuals have it that they are just here, that they don't have a gift, that they don't have a thing, that they have no real purpose, that all I can do is this, or all I am is this. I can stand on the corner and sell drugs because that's all I've ever known. And that's all that my father did and my father before him. And so we have these cycles of living that we have to come together as a community and break. We have to not see someone and assume that because of how he's sitting or how he's dressed that he is that or she is that. We have to start to see the person inside the person. We have to see each other as human beings, and we have to start with our own selves. We have to admit, I posted something on Facebook, and I posted about now being the time, and I shared a picture of a clip, I think it was, of the governor, where he was saying, yeah, this is a racial problem. He was straight up admitting it, out loud. The governor of Minnesota said, if this man were white, he would not have been killed. Straight up. Now that's an admission that opens up a conversation. It opens up dialogue. It opens up opportunities for us to look at ourselves and say, wait a minute, this happened only because of this thing right here. This thing right here needs to be addressed. The reactions and responses that I got a response from someone who I was really surprised, sort of had, and he inboxed me about, it's not about race, not everything's about race, and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Sometimes it just is about what it is. And until we are willing to say, it just is what it is, we're not healing. We're not healing. It's like the thing in Orlando. That man went in there and killed those people because they were gay. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't because there were a lot of Latinos in there. It wasn't. He actually told one of the black girls to get out the way because your people have suffered enough. I want to kill some other people. So, I mean, when we talk about it, if we want to heal it, we got to confront it head on, face up. I screwed up in my personal life. I have to. I could not give this talk today until I said to the person, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I was not okay. I overreacted. My anger was just not okay. It wasn't acceptable. And I could not come here today and talk to you until I own my own stuff. How am I going to talk to anybody about forgiveness if I'm not owning my own stuff? If I'm not starting with my own admission that something is going on with me? I've been walking around like an open nerve. And I've been super sensitive, and I've been taking everything personal, and most of the time I can breathe through it, and some days, baby, it just, and I can't control it because I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated, and I haven't used my outlets, and I haven't done my thing. And I own who I am. This was a problem. This is not okay. We've got to call a thing. Okay? And so the conversation has begun. In your personal life, you have to do that too. You have to call it what it is. You have to confront your own stuff. We have to look at our own biases and the way that we react to things and the way that we treat others because of what we are going through or what we haven't healed within. Because some of the things that we're carrying are ours, and some of the things are just intergenerationally handed down, learned behavior, given to us by someone else. We just picked it up because it looked like it was cool, and then all of a sudden we're wearing it, and we're wearing it in such a way that's causing harm to ourselves and to others. So the healing that we're going to talk about, that we have to take a time to address, is our own individual healing. The belief systems that causes us to walk through the world in the way that we do, completely unconcerned about other people, completely dishonest with our own selves about what we really are feeling. We have got to start to address it and stop putting on this Teflon coat of, that's just how I am, I'm in the world, and, you know, that's just how it is in our neighborhood, or that's just how it is over there. It can change. It can change, and now is the time. Now is the time to do the change, to be the change, to get up off your proverbial butt and do your part. So if you have access to Congress, we are here in Washington, D.C., and you have access to Congress, and that is your thing, and you have skills, and you have the gift of words, and you can write letters. Get up, write letters, do something. Don't just sit at home om shantying, because we got to get up and move our feet and get out there and do something different. We also need to go into our schools and volunteer in our neighborhoods and show up for each other and take ownership of what we need to do to heal as a community, to heal as a people. Because clearly we are sitting on a powder keg of destruction. And our choice, our opportunity as people of spiritual lives, a center for spiritual living, our responsibility is to stand up and be that presence right where you are with your skills, time, talents, abilities. It is up to us to get up and do something different. But let me tell you this, and I'm going to take it on a real personal level. You want to help, get up and help, but make sure you're taking care of your own house too. Because it is no good for anybody for you to take yourself out there and inflict your stuff on other people. So take some time and go within and figure out where you are with all of this. And really take some time to have conversations. We're having the forum here later. This is going to be a great place for you to cry, to talk, to be about it. But have conversations with people that you're close to and really talk about what you feel. Don't just talk about it on a superficial level. I can't believe that's happened. Did you see the video? Oh my God. That's great. That's information. But the processing of that information is really important, because you cannot take your stuff out there and inflict it on the problem and become a part of the problem. So part of the forgiveness and the healing that we have to do is go within and look at how we are about it. Look at what we're feeling. Look at what's going on with our own selves about it. Take our time to really address where we are with it, so that we can heal our own hurts, our own wounds, our own sadness, our own anger, our own frustration. And we can get to a place to not just forgive on the outer aspect of things, but to start by forgiving our own selves for whatever part we've played, whether we have been lackadaisical and uninvolved, whether we have seen it and just passed it on and done nothing, whether we have actively engaged in our own form of ism, racism, sexism, any of it. Whatever it is, go in and look at that and admit, I've done this, I'm guilty. I've participated in this carelessness. I have participated in the bulldozing through other people's lives. Admit that. And then start to heal it. Because once you admit it, it's like you rip the Band-Aid off and you start to expose it. And once you show it, it dies in the light of exposure. You got to expose it and let it die and let the healing happen, so that you can come in and be a part of the change, a part of the process, a part of the healing, not just of yourself, because each one of us that heals the entire community. And let me tell you, when you have truly forgiven a situation or a person or yourself, then you can become the observer and the participant. And you're no longer caught up in the emotionality of it. Because you can get to that place where, and you can do it with almost with anything, with absolutely anything, even this thing that we are going through as a nation. You can do it with your former spouse, you can do it with your former best friend, you can do it with your mom, your dad, your uncle, your cousin, whatever the situation is, whether it was your abuser or the person you abused. You can get to a place where you admit that a thing happened, that you participated in it on whatever level you did, and that it's okay, you were human. You're not going to let your past be your guidance. You're going to let your past be a lesson that you walked through, and you're going to heal it. And then you can engage from the point and the perspective of someone who is participating in the world, in the community, who is involved, who is ready to give and be and serve without bringing all of the stuff that gets in the way, because you don't want to come with the raw emotion. You want to get to the place where you heal what's going on with you, so that healing from deep within your own soul, you can take that and turn it into love, and you can activate the love that we need to bring to this situation. You cannot come with this situation, come to it and be of service with it if you're being dragged around by your raw emotion. You have got to. You have got to address it. You have got to cry. You have got to let the anger out. You have got to pound your fist in your pillow if that's what you need. You have got to stand outside and scream at the top of your lungs if that's what you need. You have got to release it and let it go, so that you can become a part of the solution. Because as long as you're walking around in the anger and the rage and the hurt and the tears, you're part of the problem. And there's value in the tears. There's value in the anger. There's value because it motivates us. It lifts us up and it gets us to move. But if we don't heal from the right here, right now, we cannot participate in the greater healing of our world. This is our world, and none of us should ever feel unsafe. My child should not look at me at 9 years old and say, what if the next person is Daddy or Uncle Dennis that they kill? She should not at 9 years old have that thought in her head at all. She should be thinking about going upstairs and playing with her friends or going to the pool or writing her story or whatever it is that they do at 9. She shouldn't be thinking about that. Not one single one of us should be concerned about our own safety based on the color of our skin, the uniform we wear, the clothes we have on, who our partner is or is not. We are responsible to make that change. And we have to stop using religiosity and political things, and we have to stop using how I grew up and all these things as our excuse for inflicting pain on others and separation and less than and better than. We have to come to a place within our own selves, own our stuff, own what we have done, what we have participated in, whether actively or passively. Stand up, heal the hurt. Heal the hurt, and let the hurt flower and blossom and become love. And it is with the love, it is with the healing, it is there that we get to get up and move our feet and start participating actively in our community as an expression of love, of hope, of harmony,